Hey, what's up guys? It's Lego Hobo 910 here with another Lego video. And in this video, I'm reviewing set number 75955, the Harry Potter Hogwarts Express. So let's get right into the review. So before you look at the actual Hogwarts Express here, this is the first ever rendition of Platform 9 3/4 to come with a Hogwarts Express set. There has been one rendition in the previous Harry Potter line, but it was only a small little, it was basically just a moving wall and that's it. So, here is the Platform 9 3/4. Over here is meant to be kind of the Muggle King's Cross side, as you can see. It says King's Cross, has a more Muggle-looking light. Here is the clock, and if you want, you can rotate the hands. There's some stairs leading to the bridge heading over the tracks. And, quick note, no tracks actually come with this set. You can order just some track pieces either off of Bricklink or on Lego.com. They have an official set called Tracks for $20. You get 20 different track pieces, which I'm going to be ordering so that I can build up my tracks. And then over here, you have some platform signs for 9 and 10. Let's take Ron Weasley here in his little cart. We'll take a closer look at that later. And you can push him through the wall here. As you can see, it rotates, it swings. It's kind of tight. It doesn't really stay down properly when it's supposed to. But you can get your minifigures to actually, run through to enter Platform 9 3/4. Like I said, though, it does get stuck in an up position quite a lot, which is kind of annoying. But then, if we move along over here, here's the actual Platform 9 3/4. As you can see, it's very different. You have very different lighting, first of all. But then you also have much more wizard things. So first of all, you have the Platform 9 3/4 sign here. And then, I'm just going to flip up that light so you can see a bit better. You have a wanted poster for Sirius Black. And then you also have some news articles of the Daily Prophet for The Boy Who Lived, which doesn't really make sense because this is supposed to be when Harry's going to Hogwarts, and those would be articles that would be out, like, when, it all goes down, he lives from the killing curse. But there aren't really much other very significant and iconic things to do in the newspaper rack. They could do The Boy Who Lied, but they didn't. They could also maybe do something about Sirius Black escaping, but they already have the wanted poster, so I don't know, I feel like I don't know, I feel like they could have come up with something better, but then again, I don't know what they could have done better. This is also at a slight angle here. If you really want, you could just angle it straight up and down, but I'd recommend just leaving it back. So now let's go on to look at the actual Hogwarts Express. So before I start talking about the Hogwarts Express here, quick disclaimer, I don't know, anything about trains, Lego or real, so I'm gonna end up screwing up a lot of things. I have no clue what this is called. I'm just gonna call it a spinny stick thing, and I don't know what 90% of the different train terms are. I also don't know much about Lego trains, so a lot of these pieces are very new to me. So I'll be pointing out some of them, and you might look at them and be like, yo, those are really common pieces, but like I said, I've done, literally nothing with trains, Lego or real, in my entire life. So, yeah, disclaimer out of the way. So now let's start looking at it here. It's in 3 sections: the engine, the coal car, and the cab here. And they are connected at these little Technic beams, which swivel. I'm just gonna pop this off so you can see how they connect into just some of those, 3 sections here. And we'll start by looking at the engine here. And yeah, it has the cool spinny stick thing that I mentioned before, using a fairly simple mechanism, which then just makes it spin like that, and it looks really cool. And also, on the front here, something of note. As you can see, this wiggles a bit, but it's mostly fixed. You can flip up this front flap, and then this is connected by the same type of joints as everywhere else, just a bit shorter and also a bit blocked off. So then, if you actually do put it on tracks and drive it around tracks, it can swivel back and forth now and move along the tracks better. But then, if you don't have tracks, you'll probably want to put that down, because or else, as you can see, driving it just swivels around weirdly and just makes it hard to drive. So if you're just driving it without tracks, I recommend just leaving that down. And it also has quite a few large printed pieces, such as this printed dish for the front of the Hogwarts Express. Also has some pearl gold on the top. Then also on either side it has one of these arches that says the Hogwarts Express on it. You do have a few stickers on either side. If we turn around to the back, here's the actual driver's area. And it uses these poles and leaves a space, which creates kind of cool technique. You can pop off the roof if you really want. And then inside you can see some flames as well as some gauges and controls. Flames, obviously, to power it, as it is a steam engine. The next section of the Hogwarts Express, and the smallest here, is the coal car. This is what everything's connected to. These are what the joints connect to. You can, obviously, pop them off and have them connected to others, but this is what they are built onto, and this is where everything is connected to. And something interesting is these wheels actually connect with these little steel metal beam type things, which I've never seen before. That's probably a common thing with train sets that I just don't know about. And then they go into these specialized wheels with then these weird frame things. This has two large panels for stickers, and as you may have noticed there, I accidentally flipped up the top, and that's because you can use the coal car here as a luggage compartment. It just flips open. You can put luggage in there. I wish they would maybe put a bit more detail on the top, like some black studs to make it look like there's actually coal in there. But it's just a small little section here, and it's fairly usable. Otherwise, if they didn't include this, there really wouldn't be much going on here. Just look good and, you know, get the whole train in, but it really wouldn't do much functionality-wise. Overall, I think this section's cool. Let's move on to the next one. Section here is the cab car, whatever it's called. And it has some of these little bumper things on either end. The Hogwarts Express also had those on the front. It has a sticker on either side with the Hogwarts crest. And overall, it's kind of plain looking from the outside. You can pop off this roof here to get access, which is fairly normal. You can also open all the windows if you want. But then the thing that I think is really cool about this is you can pop off the front as well. Which I think, first of all, is really good for play because you can reach in better and get things. But also for stop motioners like me, if I was to ever do a stop motion in the Hogwarts Express, it would be really nice because then, you know, I can get better angles. I won't have to either completely destroy it and try to figure that out or shoot through a window. I can just take it off and get better, clear shots that look like it's actually inside the train. Anyway, here's what the inside looks like. They don't really have it divided up into different cabins like they do in the real train. They have these seats in sand blue as well as the floor. It can sit 4 minifigures all along there. You can also fit a few in the aisles here. And there's this little trolley, which we'll look at later, which can slide in here very nicely for travel. It doesn't actually really fit in the aisle, though, because it's, this is a too thick build. The aisle's too thick, but then it also has things sticking out in them. So it doesn't really fit when the wall's fully closed, but if you want to close the wall, you can just slide that in there, and then have the trolley, which just kind of stand in the aisle there. Then you can fit 4 minifigures in here, so that way, you know, they can be on their journey to Hogwarts, sitting in the train. And then you can fit all the student characters that come in this set, as well as one more, such as maybe Lupin, or you could just fit another student that you bring in from another set. Minifigures, we have a couple side builds here. We'll start with this one. This is Ron's cart to carry luggage and such around the platform. You can tell it's Ron because it has scabbers on the front here. He just connects to a jumper plate. If you wanted, though, you could bring in Hedwig from another set and make it Harry's, or you don't even have to put anything there, and it can be anyone else's. It also comes with 2 suitcases here, which can go in the luggage compartment. These are the old suitcases, not the new ones that came in the Harry Potter line. Those are not in any set so far. They're just sticking with the old suitcases currently. It's just a small little simple build, and it doesn't actually have any wheels. It just uses these 2x2s with technicals kind of hanging off the bottom, and then uses one of these pieces with a bar so that way you can push along. Yeah, it doesn't have any wheels, which I think is kind of weird. Maybe it's because the best wheel pieces to use, which would be kind of the skateboard wheel pieces, wouldn't really fit here and make it a lot taller. But moving on to the other cart, which has the same wheel technique. This is the trolley for, carrying snacks and such along the train. It's in sand green with a bit of gold. It then has a brown frog there to represent chocolate frogs. This white box that cones at the top is Birdie Bots. And then there's just one of this orange ice cream pieces that could be whatever you want it to be. It could be ice cream if you want. I imagine it is pumpkin patty, since that's a candy sweet thing mentioned many times throughout the books. And it makes sense since it's kind of an orangey color. It also has some kind of empty spaces there. Not sure exactly why they didn't fill that in, why they left it empty, as well as why they have the ridge instead of just making it a bit bigger and fill that out. But overall, I think it looks really cool. So now let's look at the minifigs. Harry. This is the same outfit he wears in the Aragog set, so it's nothing exclusive. The same hair and face pieces as well. He has the wand in dark brown, as always. Overall, it's just a well-done minifigure. It's the same one as in the Aragog's 4 set, so it's not too exclusive. There's another minifigure that was in the Aragog's 4 set, which is the Ron minifigure. He is once again exactly the same. And that doesn't make him a bad minifigure, it's just, we've already seen him. He's not exclusive or anything. He has the light brown one, with then of course the same hair and face printing as always. Yeah, so that was the two of the main characters of Harry Potter rushed through really quickly because we've seen so many of them already, and this is the second of this version of them. This, however, is an exclusive version of Hermione. In all the other sets, she just comes with her school robes. However, the hair and face printing is exactly the same as normal. She has a gray sweater with blue, yellow, and pink stripes. She also has her normal dark tan wand, as well as dark tan legs. Same hairpiece as normal, and same face printing, once again with the same kind of misprint of it being printed slightly to the side on the opposite face. Because if you look, this face is facing straight ahead, and if we put on the hair, you can see it fits perfectly around and it's straight ahead. But then if we switch around to this side and put the hair on, it's kind of off to the side. And this is a common problem I have seen in every single one of my Hermiones, as well as I've seen other people have it, so it's not just this one instance. That's kind of a recurring problem throughout all the Hermiones. So, just thought I'd let you know that. But overall, it's a cool minifigure and exclusive version of Hermione as well. Next up, we have Remus Lupin. He has another suitcase piece, as well as a wand in the light brown color, and then dark tan legs. He has his gray jacket over the olive green kind of vest, with then the white shirt and the black tie there. And the printing just carries around to the back. It's nothing too amazing there on the back. But then he has this hairpiece that I believe is exclusive. Don't quote me on that. I'm just 90% sure it is. And if we pop it off here, you can see his face printing a bit better with the werewolf scratches across it, as well as the bit of kind of scruffy facial hair. And then this face is when he's turning into a werewolf. As you can see, he has kind of much angrier looking teeth, looks like they're becoming fangs. And he also has yellow eyes. They didn't include any way for you to fully transform into a werewolf. Like with the old Lupin, he came with a werewolf head that you could switch out so he would become a werewolf. This one has no way of fully transforming him into a werewolf, though. It just has that opposite face. But overall, it's a cool minifigure and a good version of Lupin. Here we have this Dementor, and he uses some of these kind of ghostly legs that are printed in half black, kind of half transparent, and it looks very cool. He also has this torn up cape, using the older style of fabric. They've only ever done torn up capes in older fabric. I think they should start doing it in the newer fabric. I don't see why not. Maybe it tears easier or something. I don't know. He then, of course, has a hood, and I'm just going to pop that off so you can see his face there, where he has his mouth open, obviously, to suck out your soul through the Dementor's kiss. And then also, if I move his arms aside here, you can maybe see the front printing a bit better, which looks all kind of slimy and gross, and you can kind of see rib cages. It's really weird. And then he doesn't have any back printing. It's just plain black, which, to be honest, is fine by me, as 90% of the time it'll be covered by the black cape. We have the Trolley Witch. This is the first version of her. She drives the trolley down the cars, delivering food to all the children. And she is wearing kind of a dark red torso there with pink arms. You will see a bit of pink collar in there. It's not too crazy on the printing. It's fairly simple with then just some gray legs and this gray hairpiece. In this face, she's smiling. There, she's kind of shocked, probably because, there's a Dementor floating down the train. That I'm sure you'd have a similar look if that happened to you. Overall, it's a fairly cool minifigure. There's nothing really amazing about it, but it's a nice addition anyway. Overall, it's a fairly cool set, with 4 out of 6 of the minifigures being exclusive. And also something I really like is just the way the platform looks with the train, compared to some of the older sets, which were just the train. It didn't have kind of as much of a feel as this one does, where, you have the whole atmosphere and everything going on. Plus, all the individual builds work very well, and you can obviously fit a lot of minifigures in there. Plus, all the opening of it's very nice, and the fact that you also have a luggage storage in there. It just looks very cool. Overall, it's a really nice set. That's all, and peace.